Here's the question that separates good analysts from great ones. Does the business actually generate cash? EBITDA is an opinion. Cash flow is a fact. I've seen deals where a company reported $20 million of EBITDA but generated only $8 million of free cash flow. $12 million vanished into working capital, maintenance capex, and customer deposits that never materialized. If you're pricing a deal on EBITDA but the cash isn't there, then you're buying a mirage. I'm John Colley, 30+ years in M&A and private equity. In this video, I'll show you the EBITDA to free cash flow bridge, the single most important framework in financial due diligence. The 5 things EBITDA ignores, the conversion ratio that tells you the truth, and the Summit Industrial Services walkthrough where $20.7 million of normalized EBITDA becomes $8.1 million of free cash flow. This is part 6 of an 8-part series on financial due diligence. Let's get into it. Cash flow analysis. Following the money. Here's the question that separates good analysts from great ones. Does this business actually generate cash? EBITDA is an opinion. Cash flow is a fact. I've seen deals where a company reported $20 million of EBITDA, but generated only $8 million of free cash flow. The other $12 million vanished into working capital, maintenance capital expenditure or capex, and customer deposits that never materialized. If you're pricing a deal on EBITDA but the cash isn't there, you're buying a mirage. EBITDA is a useful shorthand, but it ignores 5 things that consume real cash. First, capital expenditure. The business needs investment to maintain its asset base. Second, working capital movements. Growth consumes cash as receivables and inventory build. Third, tax payments, real cash that leaves the business. Fourth, interest payments. Even after refinancing, debt has a cost. Fifth, non-recurring cash costs, restructuring charges, litigation settlements, and other items that are real cash outflows, even if we adjust them out of EBITDA. The gap between EBITDA and free cash flow is where deals succeed or fail. This is the framework. Start with normalized EBITDA. Subtract maintenance capex, the minimum investment needed to keep the asset base running. Subtract the annual working capital change. Growth eats cash. Subtract cash taxes paid. Subtract cash interest. That gives you unlevered free cash flow. This is the cash the business generates for all capital providers. The conversion ratio, free cash flow divided by EBITDA, tells you how efficiently the business turns paper earnings into real money. A healthy industrial business converts 60 to 80%, below 50%, and you need to understand why. This distinction is critical and frequently hidden. Maintenance capex keeps the existing business running, replacing worn equipment, mandatory safety upgrades, regulatory compliance. Growth capex expands capacity, new facilities, new product lines, geographic expansion. In the confidential information memorandum, sellers lump everything together or classify growth capex as maintenance to make it look essential. The test: if the company stopped all capex, what breaks within 12 months? That's maintenance. Everything else is growth. Ask for a capex breakdown by asset category for 3 years. If management can't provide one, that's a red flag on its own. 5 red flags that signal cash conversion problems. First, EBITDA growing faster than operating cash flow. Earnings are improving on paper, but cash isn't following. Second, rising DSO. Customers are paying slower, which means revenue is being recognized but cash isn't arriving. Third, capex consistently below depreciation. The company is underinvesting, which flatters current cash flow but creates a future liability. Fourth, large gap between reported and cash tax rates. Deferred tax benefits are masking the real cash cost. Fifth, inventory days climbing. Stock is building up. either because sales are slowing or because management is building ahead of demand they haven't secured. 4 metrics to assess cash conversion quality: free cash flow conversion ratio, free cash flow divided by EBITDA, target above 60% for industrials, capex intensity, capex divided by revenue, compare to industry peers and check the trend, working capital efficiency, change in net working capital divided by change in revenue shows how much incremental cash growth consumes, cash tax rate, cash taxes divided by pre-tax profit, compare to the statutory rate and understand any gaps. Let's build Summit's EBITDA to free cash flow bridge. We've established normalized EBITDA of $20.7 million. Now let's follow the money and see what actually converts to cash. Starting from normalized EBITDA of $20.7 million, maintenance capex $6.2 million. Summit operates heavy industrial equipment, compressors, generators, mobile service units that requires significant ongoing investment. The confidential information memorandum reported total capex of $8.5 million, but $2.3 million was growth capex for the new Gulf Coast expansion. We use only the $6.2 million maintenance figure. Working capital investment, $1.8 million. Summit is growing revenue at 8%, and that growth consumes cash through higher receivables and inventory. Cash taxes, $2.8 million. Cash interest, $1.2 million on existing debt facilities. Other cash items, $0.6 million, including deferred maintenance catch-up from Lecture 4. Summit's free cash flow, $8.1 million. That's a 39% conversion ratio on $20.7 million of normalized EBITDA. For an industrial services business, 60 to 80% is healthy. 39% is poor. Where did $12.6 million go? The two biggest leakages are maintenance capex at $6.2 million and the combination of working capital and cash taxes at $4.6 million. The question for the investment committee: are you buying this business at a 10 times EBITDA multiple, or should you think of it as a 25 times free cash flow multiple? Those are very different valuations. The headline deal is $180 million enterprise value at 8.7 times normalized EBITDA. But on a free cash flow basis, that's 22 times free cash flow. If the buyer is financing with debt, the business generates $8.1 million of free cash flow to service a purchase price of $180 million. Debt paydown will be slow. The deal thesis must either accept slower returns or identify genuine operational improvements that lift cash conversion, reducing maintenance costs, improving working capital efficiency, or generating real revenue growth that doesn't consume proportional working capital. EBITDA is an opinion, cash flow is a fact. Always build the bridge from EBITDA to free cash flow. And if the conversion ratio is below 60%, understand exactly where the cash is going and whether that's fixable. The number that pays back debt and funds returns is free cash flow, not EBITDA. 4 rules. Always build the EBITDA to free cash flow bridge. Separate maintenance capex from growth capex. Check the 5 cash conversion red flags. Calculate the implied free cash flow multiple. It tells you the real price you're paying. We've now built the foundation. You understand how cash moves through the business and what the reported numbers are telling you. But reported cash flow and real cash generation are not always the same thing. In the next lecture, we go deeper into cash flow analysis, where we stress test those numbers, identify the warning signs, and work out whether the business truly converts profit into cash the way the seller is claiming. So that is the EBITDA to free cash flow bridge. Maintenance capex, working capital investment, cash taxes, cash interest, other recurring drains. The number that pays back debt and funds returns is free cash flow, not EBITDA. In the next video, we go deeper into the cash flow analysis. The 5 traps that destroy cash flow quality. The ones sellers use to make a 39% conversion ratio look like 75. If this was useful, the complete slide decks and Summit case study are available as a free download. Link in the description below and the pinned comment. I'm John Colley, and I'll see you in the next video.